All right, traders, in this video, what I'd like to do is walk you through order management, position management, and performance metrics within the Tickblaze platform. Now, the best part about Tickblaze is we actually have multiple ways in which you can actually monitor your orders and positions, as well as value the way in which you look at the data on your charts or inside of the desktop. Some people like to look at their orders or their positions while they're trading. Some like to look at it after, or a combination of both. We've built Tickblaze to be super flexible so that you can see things on the fly or you can assess things post-trade. Now, why would we want to look at things while we're trading? Well, it's really important that if we're placing orders, we can actually see the orders, if they're open, if there's any remaining orders open that we forgot about or we weren't paying attention to. Sometimes traders will set an order on one market and then they'll go to another market and they'll forget they even placed an order. Next thing you know, you're in a trade, you didn't even know you're in a trade, right? The other thing too is looking at your positions. You can track open P&L, close P&L while you're trading. And we actually have a few different ways in which you can do this. So I'm going to walk you through a few examples and let's get started. So for the most part, the main infrastructure is inside of the main Tickblaze desktop. So at the top, you're going to see workspaces, then you're going to see positions. You have the ability to look at open positions, closed positions, all positions, okay? You have the ability to look at orders. You can look at pending orders, filled orders, right? Depending on if you've taken trades, canceled orders, if you pulled orders from the book, all orders, right? And these are the things that you can basically assess if you're looking at the orders. Under the accounts window, you can set up multiple accounts. You can create multiple SIM accounts, or you can see the active live broker accounts that you're looking at. And then you have the overall performance metric, which will actually be for all accounts. And this is not based off of one market. This is based off of all markets, unless you choose a custom symbol. If you only want to see the symbols that you want to assess, you can do that. But if you don't select a custom symbol, then you're by default going to be looking at the entire snapshot of all the markets that you traded for this account. Now you have the ability to look at multiple accounts simultaneously, or you can look at the performance on a one account basis. Now, before we start analyzing the KPI metrics, let's go back to the charts here and let me just show you another way in which you can monitor your orders and your positions. If you're trading, let me just open up another chart and let's pull this to the side here. Okay, and I'm gonna link this to a different market. Let's say I want this to be the NQ. And what's gonna happen is, let's say I was looking at gold and I was looking at the NASDAQ simultaneously, side by side, okay? And essentially, the way that Tickblaze is built is that if you're trading live, give a little bit more screen real estate. If you're trading live, right? Like let's say you're using a chart pad and a chart pad. What you're doing on gold is going to be different than the NASDAQ. So we've designed it in a way, right, where we can actually right click the chart and go to show trade tabs. And then below the chart, you can actually see everything that is responsible for this market. So all of the positions is for gold. Your orders are for gold, right? Your logs are for gold. Your performance metrics will be just for gold, okay? However, if you want to look at the NASDAQ, right, you coming down here, the NASDAQ, and everything that is down here, okay, is going to be for the NASDAQ. Let's say I want to buy a position on the NASDAQ. You're going to see it open here. You won't see that over here because this tab is specifically for the chart that it is applied to. So if I close that, right, and I go to orders, you're going to see there was my orders for the NASDAQ. Here was my orders for gold. They're two separate markets, and these right-click perf tabs, these show trade tabs here, they're only for this chart that you are trading on, okay? So this is a very quick visual drag and drop function. I'm gonna drag this over here so we can see this. And the reason we do this is because if you, at any given chance, you just wanna look at the orders for whatever market you're trading, you don't want it to be specific to all of your markets or all of your accounts. You have the privilege of doing so, right? And it's really, really there for you to be able to look at a solo window for whatever market you're trading. Let's say you're trading with 4 different monitors and you have a chart on each monitor. You can actually pull this up at the bottom of every chart, and then you can visually see everything at a glance for that market, okay? Now, The third way to monitor at a platform level, not at a chart level, right? Remember the top toolbars, these are at a platform level. So this is specific to all markets and all positions. The chart is for whatever chart you're looking at. But if you wanted to look at it in a little bit more of a dynamic way, I can add the widgets. Let's say I want to do orders. I can come down in here and I can add another one. I can do positions, right? I can do that simultaneously. Okay. I can basically drag them over top of each other, which will give you a little bit more screen real estate. But the uniqueness of this is that this is going to be for the entire platform. So if you're looking at filled orders, this is going to be for the entire platform. It's not going to be the chart. So if you wanted to look at it like that, you could do that. Some people like to see it on the side of their charts while they're trading. And the reason for this is that, let's say you're trading and you want to manage your positions. Let's just drag this over here like this. I know a lot of traders that like to see the positions. And if they're in a position like this right now, let's say I want to go buy market, right? I'm in a position. Let's say I go to the NASDAQ and I want to sell market, right? I'm in a position. So I can actually monitor my positions at the same time if I'm looking at different tabs. It really just depends on how you want to do this, right? I can close my position, okay? And then essentially once that fills and it closes on the next incoming tick, give it a second. Once that closes, this will execute, right? There it is. And then ultimately, if I want to basically close this position, I close it, right? You can do that. You can create the tabs, right, as you see fit. You can unpin them so that way you always have the positions. Let's say I just want to see positions. I don't want to look at orders. I can pin the positions on the right, which is really good if you're trading for a lot of markets or if you're trading for a prop firm account and you want to monitor all your positions. You can do so on the fly. And it just creates a lot more visual cues for basically monitoring everything on a glance. So in summary, you have the ability to do things at the platform level at the top. You have the ability to do things at the charting level on the right click function, or you have the ability to do it on a tabbed function, which can be pinned or non-pinned, and you can drag and drop these, right? I can basically do that as well. And let's say I want to pull this over here and I want to put it down below. You can look at the orders and you can look at your positions and you could basically monitor things on the fly, okay? Now that's pretty much for the orders and for the positions widgets. One thing you're gonna notice, and I'm gonna basically just drag this down again so you can see this in a bigger window. And the reason for this, I wanna show you a few things, is that you have the ability to customize what you see. In every single environment, if I right click and I go to show trade tabs and I wanna show the orders, you're gonna see there's a gearbox icon here. If I click on this, I have the ability to control all of my columns. I have the ability to control how I want to see them. Like if I want to see red and green or blue and yellow or whatever the colors, I have the ability to change my colors for positive P&L or negative P&L, or if I want to change the different settings. Maybe I don't want to look at all of these different columns, but I only want to sort by maybe exchange and I only want to look at open P&L. I can choose, right, for my positions to only look at the exchange, the currency, the instrument that I'm trading, and I can literally filter what I want. Now, by default, we have it turned on so that you're not limited. If I want to see everything, I can see everything. You can see these are pretty much the metrics that a lot of people are looking at, like your realized P&L and your unrealized P&L. You can simplify that down. Maybe you don't want to look at the exchange or the instrument or these types of things. You can filter that down, and all you got to do is just go into these little gearbox icons, change the colors. Let's say you want to have the colors there, you can do that. Change the font settings and everything that's built into that. It really just is your preference, right? Now you can also do that up here at the main control center. You can come in here, you can change the settings by just going into the gearbox and then choosing which you choose to see. And that way, as you scroll left or right, you may not need to scroll left or right because ultimately you can see everything based off the settings that you choose, okay? So let's clean this up a little bit and let's get into the trade perf, because that's where a lot of people are gonna spend a lot of time. And let's talk about performance KPIs. Now, performance KPIs are essentially how you monitor your trading performance, and you look at the metrics to see, are you actually doing well? Are you trading? Are you over trading? Are you having a good win-loss ratio? Are you taking too many trades and having too much commissions, etc.? And the way that we do this is we can look at one account, multiple accounts. You can choose custom symbols, like I said. You can set the start date and the end date. And you can actually compare. We'll do this after, but what's important is that you see the summary of your overall metrics. You can also see all positions. You can scroll down, you can see winning positions, or you can see losing positions. And essentially what this is just a snapshot, and it gives you all of your KPIs. Now I can break it down by period, and let's say I want to break it down by hour of day. I can see, the hours of the day, and these examples, I've been doing this here as well. And you can ultimately come down to symbol. You can see I took some trades on the NASDAQ. I took a couple on the Aussie, Bitcoin, the Euro dollar. Took a couple big trades on gold, right? I can choose what I want to see here in this graph, all the different metrics. I can go down to look at profit distribution, MAE, MFE. I can look at the graph, right? And this allows me to look at it from a daily scale, a weekly, or a monthly. I can come in here and I can look at my net profit, or I can look at my max drawdown should I choose. So I didn't take any drawdowns here, so let's take a look at this. Let's go back up to net profit. You can see net profit. I can come up here, I can go to essentially equity curve, right? So you can choose how you want to see the visuals. You can take a look at wins versus losses. You can come down here and you can really look at the metrics at any given way you want, but it's really a preference, right? And the more days you trade and the more activity you have, the more visuals you'll have. And, we have a pretty detailed breakdown of the KPIs as well in the strategy desktop videos, because the strategy desktop videos are going to be where you look at back testing and optimizing and seeing a whole lot of different metrics unfold. But for the most part, you're going to be looking at your net profit, your gross profit and loss, your expectancy. You're going to be looking at your profit factor, your win-loss ratio. I don't have any commissions set in here. So if you see 0 for commissions, there's a reason for that. You have to actually go up to the account section, go into the account, right click, go to edit simulation account, and go down here and go to the commission scripts. You could do it by order, by unit, by instrument. So if I was basically looking at stocks, I could choose whatever broker you're trading with, they're going to have different commissions. So you can set the stock commissions. If you're trading futures, maybe you're trading for a futures broker like Interactive Brokers, or maybe you're trading for a prop firm and they set their commissions. You can set those commissions in here. And then once you set those, you hit OK. And then basically your commissions will update. They won't now because I didn't take those trades when I had a commission script in, but any trades moving forward will factor those commissions in, okay? So I know that's a lot to take in, but there's 3 ways in which you can monitor performance: through the top-down menu on the desktop, inside the chart, and then ultimately inside of the widgets, right? And you can do that both for docked, or you can do that for floating workspaces. And it's going to be for you to choose your layouts and how you want to see that. But for the most part, it's pretty straightforward. Just make sure you keep track of your orders, your positions, and then you can study your KPIs once you've taken some trade data. Okay, so if you have any questions on how to set up your orders or your positions, or how to look at your trade data, or how to export your data or import your data, please let me know or let our team know, and we'd be more than happy to help. One last thing that's really, really important when you're trading is that when you export your resources, okay, you will have to do a clean install, or maybe you want to move your trading infrastructure from your desktop to your laptop, or maybe you're traveling and you're trading on your laptop and then you come home and you want to move all your trade data to your desktop. We want to be able to teach you how to import and export your data. So when you go through here and you go through resources and you click on resources, okay, what's going to happen, okay, is you're going to be able to click on include transaction log. And the reason we do this is that when you do a backup or you export all your resources, you're going to be able to export your trade data. So when you import your layouts or this file onto another computer or your laptop or your backup, let's say you're doing a clean install and our team tells you need to delete everything and do a clean install, make sure when you do the export, you choose include transaction log, because this will basically bring all of your trade data into the backup. Therefore, when you install it onto the new install or under another computer, you won't lose all your trades, right? And this is really important because, Your trade data is everything, and you want to make sure that you can back that up and you can use that moving forward, okay? So once again, I hope you enjoyed the video. That's a quick primer on orders, positions, and performance KPIs. We'll probably do some more videos in the near future, but there's definitely going to be a lot more videos on this in the strategy desktop playlist, so be sure to check that out and you'll be able to learn a lot from there as well. Take care, traders, and we'll see you in the next video.